Good morning, afternoon, troopers. Today we're going to go over the California Highway Patrol Communications Division. The Communications Division is the idea of the operation of officer to officer, officer to civilian, and officer to the Office of Emergency Management. What we're going to do is we're going to cover a lot of bases in this document, along with go over how RTO works and how to set yourself up, along with how to conduct certain kind of RTO standards. For right now, I'm going to explain a lot of here. I recommend reading the document that is attached to the video and move forward and proceed from there. So here's what we're going to do. Today we're going to start on with the California Highway Patrol Communications Division, and the idea is there's three main key points is respect, integrity, and pride. These are the three things that you're supposed to have while here working at the California Highway Patrol and working in the Communications Division. So a little bit of the disclaimer, this document is going to update without letting you know or letting you know. It depends on if you look at the document or not. Along with that, everything in this document is a joint universal department standards, along with our department standards, along with the high command department standards. Understand those three tie into why this document is created and why it's presented. Communication disciplinary punishment system. I know this is why this is the first thing on here because this is the most important. You need to be professional, you need to be respectful, and you need to have pride behind your work. Understand that you are the figures of this department. As a dispatcher, you will be the leader of this department. So please understand that. You need to be professional, you need to be on your shit, on your stuff pretty much. So we got right now, here's what's going to happen. Ranks are not guaranteed and can lead you to responsible. Power becomes responsibility. There'll be official council meeting along the dispatch directors and divisional, along with high command if required, on the negative actions you cause could result in a warning, demotion, suspension, and termination of duties of post. So here's some of the things that we're going to go over. I'm not going to touch this. Pretty much there it is. We're going to move forward because we're already going to touch it. So the purpose of the SOP is to provide a basic standards of procedures so that you could understand what you're going to get yourself into. Understand this job is very complicated, so please understand that while you're doing this, along with providing a lot of not fast typing, but at least somewhat of standardized typing, subsidizing words, and making it more clear and collected. The purpose of the communications department is basically, I'm going to tell you, it's easy as pie. It's going to be the connection between multi-departments, federal departments, local departments, and state departments. Here's what I mean by that. CHP is a state department, LAPD is a county county department. Understand they're still multi-together departments. So the idea of this is those three departments plus federal jurisdictions and county jurisdictions, which is LASD, come into big play here. Understand while these departments are three separate departments, they are all still one department when in RTO and provide the same standards. The idea is its Office of Emergency Management will be connection between the officer to officer, officer to civilian, and officer to the Office of Emergency Management. Please understand this is important for your criticalized thinking when performing your duties here at the CHP or California Highway Patrol. Understand we expect the highest standards from you when it doesn't matter what department, who they're from, why they're from, or where they're from. You are the LAPD or you are the CHP dispatcher. You are to represent every department, even our own, and even people outside of our department. The next thing I need to explain is understanding non-emergency telephone calls. Sometimes you're going to get those. Please understand those are 311. You are to operate through those as well. Our mission, basically, to exhibit professionalism along with tough, compassionate work. You will be answering 911 calls. You'll be talking to officers. You'll be talking to the government officials, federal officials. Anything from up to down, you will be talking to. That's why you're considered the highest priority in team speak or inside that RTO. You are the critical person that is the life-saving and ongoing effort that prevents the best service possible. Our job is to give the best service. We will provide the best service. Chain of command here at the California Highway Patrol, it's DIT, which is dirt, or in my opinion, I say dirt, but it's actually DIT. Dispatcher and training. And you got your dispatcher, senior dispatcher, lead dispatcher, dispatch manager. I don't know why they put manager. It's supposed to be manager. I'll fix that in a minute. Assistant director and director. Understand? Your manager is your medium command. This is your high command. These are just your regular ranks. Okay. The people from dispatch lead up will go to dispatch manager. Dispatch manager will go to assistant director, and it should go up the chain. And director will find a way to figure it. These are just the job duties. Understand dispatch managers can hold meetings and are monitoring all dispatchers from senior to level to below them. Other things that you need to know is dispatchers must follow these core duties right here. This is important. Dispatchers must monitor all emergency 911 calls in-game, out-of-game. I'll show you how to get those in the CAD. Monitor radios of all officers, along with providing 1073 checks, which are status checks. Dispatch is allowed to do that. I will show you how to conduct one. It's really easy. Also monitoring our GCIC, which is our MDT, which is our mobile data terminal. Every officer has an MDT on them through a tablet, and they provide that, which are radio broadcasts when needed, troubleshoot problems, and handle it accordingly. If there's any issues with our MDTs, you need to provide the service behind it to fix it. Operating Monitor Database and CAD, CAD, which is our computer-aided dispatch. Operating CAD following all SOPs, entering the monitor of all routine traffic, monitoring all radio sets, including in county and city. We need to provide the best services. Needed information of dispatch scenery. Basically, you're in charge of the CAD, the people in the RTO, and managing all that under one roof, along with your high officials. Operate and monitor all radio functions following the SOP, MDTs, your phone systems, which are your 911 calls that are in-game, out-of-game, and inside of the RTO, along with ensuring when you leave your shift, you work, and you do it when you go off duty. Meetings can be held by dispatch managers. They're going to try to be held once a month or once every 2 months, bi-monthly meetings. These are just meetings that are going to go over new things that are coming in, like currently the new AMR dispatching, which we're going to work on and we're going to try to move to. Overview requirement for training. Officers of dispatch radio transmissions format 1011s, 1080s, 1070s, 10.8s, 10.7s, 10.12s, 10.13s, and 10.99s, etc. will be considered, but not limited to. Dispatch to officer radio transmission format and soft skills of short-term memory, organization, plan, instructions. I will explain all of that literally today in this video. Disciplinary actions and procedures. Like I said, verbal warning, written and demotions. We already went over that. Disciplinary actions and active supervisory misconducts. All it is the same stuff. Don't screw up. Be professional. Be what CHP is. The most professional department we can provide. Now here's what we're going to do. Here's where the training comes in. When going 10.8, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to hold on to this section. We're going to go into our CAD or into our radio. Okay. Before you do anything, this is our team speak. You have your RTOs, RTO city and county, public frequency services, our RTOs ops channels, which I'll go over that, your JTPs and all your quiet flight comms, your Department of Transportation. This is federal. And then you have your calling 911, and this is not yours, but calling 911 is the important one and waiting for priority also as well. We'll go over that in just a minute. I'm going to explain all of that, but really I want to touch the CAD first. The CAD is where you need to start. Before you do anything else, you need to enter the CAD. So what you're going to do is you're going to log in. You're going to go here. You're going to enter the Vuln web here. You need to put in a request, or I'll get access, one of the two. You click on dispatch. You're going to notice a lot of things real quickly. One thing I do before anything, first I do this. Why do I do this? Because it allows me to expand my pages. I can go to 7 now. All the latest 911 calls, all the officers on duty today. We're going to go to 10 there. One thing you need to do is make sure your status is set. As you can tell, there it is, subdivision. There's no one in there, so we're going to leave it there.
Incoming 911.
As there's a 911 call that came in. We'll go over that in a minute. Make sure you're in server 1, and then make sure your dispatch is ready. So I usually set the statuses to all the available on top, unavailable. Right here is all your 911 calls that are in game and only in-game. Your active calls, which there's nobody on an active call, so we can close the call. There is your new dispatch, which is basically thing, and everything else that is in your regular LEO is here too, as well. So everything LEO is still here. This is just a bigger version. You can see everybody. You can toggle all their little panic buttons and all that, so that we can provide the best services. So here's what we're going to do. After you opened up your CAD and it's all set up, okay, you have it all ready, you set it up to the patrol units. First thing you're going to do is you're going to enter the RTO. Okay, obviously there's two other RTOs here. I'm going to go into an Ops 3 channel, but really you would go into a county, city, or AMR dispatch. You'd go in, okay, you would click on you, go to set server, and you'll have access to this. You want to go to set channel group, active dispatch. What will happen is your body will be put all the way up. You are now the active dispatcher. Once you've done that, the following things are going to happen. A lot of people are going to, before you can go 10-8, make sure your CAD is up. You can have the dispatch manual out. I usually do that. Go try these things and go from there. Once you've done that and you set up all this page, go ahead and do the following. You're going to go, we're going to show you the thing one more time. Right here where it says it. When going 10-8 as a dispatcher, you will say all units be advised 10-3. Strict RTO is now in effect. To your call sign will be 10-8 as control, or known as, or dispatch. You can say dispatch or control. As of the timestamp, which if you go here, not here, if you go here, there's a timestamp right here, 2:41 to 42. You got a timestamp going. You go there, and then you go have a safe patrol, your personal message. Here's how I work. Dispatching wise, it's as professional, so I'm going to click on it. I'm going to say all units be advised 10-3, 10-3, 10-3. Strict RTO is now in effect. 2 King 29 will be operating as control at this time, at time totaled, and you would get it 2/42/17 2021 3/23. Activated Tuesday. All units have a safe patrol. After you've done that, you have started your patrol. You have started it. So one thing I do want to show, once you do that, understand everyone will know now that you're labeled dispatcher. You already did the TeamSpeak thing by active dispatch. Remember that. I'll explain 10-7 once we get there. So here's some things you're going to need to know. Once you've done that, I usually, right after I do that, I go like this. The next thing I say is, all units be advised, all units be advised. Please make sure your MDT/CADs are set up and up to date and in check. What that means is they're going to go check their CADs. If they're not logged into the CAD, they're going to be kicked from the RTO. Only because it doesn't mean they're active. You need to be in RTO to be active. Now let's go over some of the channels. While you're waiting, you need to be watching this thing right here. This is important. And the 911 calls that come in on the CAD. This will make a loud noise even if you're not in it. So let's say a 911 call come in. You click on it, you open it in the call editor to go here. You attach the available unit that wants to respond or ask that unit to respond to. You could say, 2 King 57, can I get you to respond to the latest 911 call at 4009 Sonora Road? Caller Lord_Marie 1. There is a tan scuba diving without a license. So then the officer would say, show me 1097 route, priority 142. It's an emergency type, it's all important. So you add them to the call. Then you put in here, you put active, priority 2, it's not really a bad one, and then your code, which is really just a violation. You would find it in here. Let me find it. I'm just going to really put it under there because that's important. And let's say the officer's on scene says, do be advised. Well, first you'll create the call, right? So the call is created, that officer will be dispatched. So what you want to do is you want to put this officer on busy because you have him set. So now he's set. If you ever need to re-edit it, just click on it, edit call, and it'll pop up back. So let's say, was underwater required boat. So that we know that it required a note, and then that's it. And then you just update the call, and then now it's done. And anytime you open it up, it'll be right there. Once you are done with the call, you click on it, let's say it goes 10-8, you're going to close the call. Officer, you reset back on the 10-8 available. Let's say 2 officers are going 10-12. Let's say it's one SAM 100 and one SAM 117. What you'll do is you'll add a group, new group. You're going to name it 10-12. I usually just put SAMs or S for sheriffs. Create group. Now one SAM 100, and then you add one SAM 100 to the group, and there you go. You have a 10-11, and then you just set them available. Okay, let's say they come up. Let's say this is the K9 unit, right? So this is your K9s. This can be your 10-12s. This just can be your active ride-alongs. All that right here. They're on scene. All of it's activated through here. And whenever they're done, you just go on ahead and say, let's say they deactivate. You just go ahead and cancel them out. All of this 911 calls, obviously, it's going to be saved. Other than that, let's say a new call comes in from that 911 call that I told you about right here. What you want to do is you want to go in there and state 911, what's your emergency? And have them go from there. As it's here, now calling 911, please hold, a dispatcher will be with you shortly. Active status unavailable, and actually supposed to be so. Only use this channel if there's an active dispatch. There is an active dispatch. There's me. Obviously, I'm the active dispatch. If you want to make sure your channel is also set in there as well. And then you'll go back and relay the information. So what the idea of this is, you get the information, 911, what's your emergency? Let's say they come up and they said, so you got a caller. Let's say active, priority 1. Let's say you don't get an address, but you got a postal, so it's going to be 2004. You really don't get an address, you can look that up later. Try to type as fast as you can. Call type, shots fired. You can put code 1013. Also, another thing with these unit groups, you can add all the AMR here. So if you want to add an AMR group, please add an AMR group. Suspect wants shots, notice shots fired in the location of the suspect. And then you put it in there, create the call, and then assign units to it. Understand you got to do this quick but efficient. Then that's how you answer it and say 911 will be on the way. You do not get off the line with this person unless 1, they hang up, or 2, not officers are already on scene. They'll take over from there. Okay. Some things you need to know. RTO county is everything in the county. I say everything in the dirt basically, or above. That's your Polito, that's your Sandy, that's your all your highways, major highways, Route 13s. That is your East Coast side entering the city. The city now is everything that has buildings around it, I'd pretty much call it, and houses. That's your city. Your AMR is all throughout the county. They'll set up and organize themselves. And then you got your ops channels. These is if these get compromised. They'll come over here, or something happens here, they'll come here. Your DOT, and then your flight comms. Your flight comms, and you have anybody who's flying in the flight comms. Let's say there's a priority. You enter and you say, which priority will you be doing, county or city? Let's say they say city. All right, say, please describe the priority. They'll describe it to you. You relay it on to the city dispatch. Okay. So sorry, I just heard the dog. So after that, you got all that. That's pretty much it from there. All these comms have secret and code numbers because that's actually their code numbers. No 10-1s, which is your transmitting. So here's what you need to do. As you're doing that, you're going through dispatch. Here's some simple dispatchers. Here's some simple dispatching ones that are important. Let's say 2 King 127 dispatch. 2 King 127, go ahead. 2 King 127, show me on a 1011 when ready. 2 King 27, go ahead with your 1011. 2 King 27, show me on a 1011 with a white 4-door sedan. Occupant times 1, no additional 1032s needed. Nearest postal 2004 East Joshua Road. To be advised, 2 King 127, go ahead, proceed with your 1011. To be advised, do you need any additional 1027, 1029s? 2 King 127, show me, I want to be advised, stay on hold for that 1027, 1029. To be advised, 2 King 127 to dispatch. 2 King 127, go ahead. 2 King 127, can I get a 1029, which is a plate check on a Romeo, Juliet, Romeo, Delta Echo Foxtrot. Run the plate. Do be advised it comes back to Romeo, Julia, Julia, Romeo, Delta Echo Foxtrot. Is that correct? If it's miscounted, they'll tell you which one you missed and then redo it again. Say, do be advised if the vehicle comes back stolen, valid, no warrants or arrests at this time. Do be advised, then you'll say, do be advised 1020. Now, if there was a major issue, you're going to say, do be advised 127 Maria Maria. What Maria Maria means is officer needs to step back and listen. 9 out of 10 times it's going to be a felony stop. 2 King 127, go ahead and do your Maria Maria. 2 King 127, show Maria Maria of a warrant, felony evasion, felony arrest this time. What this means is there's a felony out for the gentleman. You need a code 5 stop. To be advised, 1 King 127, would you like to code 5? 1 King 127, let's confirm code 5 stop. You will send 2 additional units as well. You already know what a code 5 stop is, so you send 2 additional units. 2 King 127, 2 King 131, 2 King 132. Can you please respond to the following code 5 stop at postal 2004 East Joshua Road at this time? They will respond with active primary. If they can't, send another unit. 2 King 127, your active 10 code 5 will be initiated once you have proceeded with the actions. They'll activate their 10 and they'll proceed with and then once they say they're activating code 5 stop, you will say, do be advised, signal 100 is in effect for the code 5 stop at this time. You activate this code 5 signal 100 so that the officers can communicate within radio to the other dispatchers in smooth transmission. That also works in 1080s. You need to have smooth transmission. As soon as the 1080 starts, signal 100 is in effect. Understand that's important to understand and bring up. Sorry, need something to drink. When doing that, you have proceeded to
So what you doing it by yourself?
let them know that what the dispatch will be doing. So and that'll provide sorry, that hurt. That'll provide a dispatch understanding. So allow yourself to give extra time. If you need to go slow, it helps. So to King 127, show me on a 1080 at this time. Can we get additional air units up and get additional units attached to the call? We only need 5 units at this time. So 5 units will attach, no more units. Start degating off units. Your idea is to prioritize units. Wherever the primary is, secondary. Dispatch will step away and allow the officers to speak. There will be a primary unit and a secondary unit. Let them speak, let them do their job. That's what they're here for. Once the 10E is over, where they've come to a stop, dispatch will regain control of the RTO and notify all officers. To be advised, dispatch is now stepping in. We're going to have this, and this respond to your location. This could be coroners, EMS, your medical, all that. Medical, stuff like that. 1070s are the same way as the 1080s. You let the RTO handle it, and then you step back in. That works for that works for AMR, that works for county. All of it's the same. Everything I just explained to you is the same. Some officers are going to give you weird requests. You're going to just have to make notes of it and put it in the CAD. Alrighty. When you want to go, so that's how you do that. When a signal 1099 is in effect, it's a distress call of an officer. You were to give all units in the RTO authorization for code 3s and to respond. To be advised, when a panic button goes off in RTO, that means there's a dispatching of a 1099. Say all units be advised, hold all radio traffic. We need all units to respond to the latest code 3 1099. All units please respond. Or latest code 1099, I need all units to respond. Signal 100, like I said, at that time when a 1099 is issued, a signal 100, you'll say, to be advised, signal 100 is now in effect. All officers are to remain silent unless the cause is thing. Chasing, shooting, robbery, you see it right there. That's usually when a signal 100 is. How this works is you say 10-3, 10-3, 10-3, all radio traffic, signal 100 is now in effect. All radio traffic will be put on hold until further notice by a dispatcher. So then you halt all radio traffic. We went over 911 calls and how to answer them. Those are important. Make sure you answer every 911 call. If you fail to answer, you will get written up. I'm sorry, I've had it before. I've had officers not respond to 911 calls, and they've gotten written up by people. So please answer 911 calls. Right here, violations of procedures and RTOs and observing issues and violations will get you So let's say you have an officer who keeps violating it. You can issue a 1090, which is a patrol warning. Next is a 1091, which is a patrol kick for 15 to 20 minutes. Then there's a 1093, which is a complete removal for 24 hours. You need authorization for all three of these. I left that in the Discord down here. Com links, it's right here. Action form, 1090s, 1091, 1093. Once you've committed those, you go ahead and activate another section of the RTO. Sorry, I was just reading something. You activate another section of the RTO and let them know about it, i.e. your field training or division officers. Let them know. Also, I recommend reading all these because I'm going to explain all this in other videos. Understand that I know this says LASD, but this is for our department. Understand that you set the standard. So you were the highest officer in charge when you're in RTO, unless there's a staff. Even if staff's there, you are still the high-ranking officer because they are officers as well, unless they're doing their staff duties and staff takes over. But for then, you are the highest ranking member in that RTO. This is a very high thing to be honored with. As a dispatcher, you also, with that much power comes a lot of responsibility. If you cannot provide that responsibility, you will be grounded and removed from the dispatching department. Understand that it's very, very easy to get removed from this department because of the fact of how important it is. You need to do your job correctly and calmly. I understand mistakes, but we don't understand continuous mistakes or understanding importance. Please answer 911 calls. Please keep your RTO clear and effective. If you can't manage an RTO and a supervisor notices, you will be subject to either retraining, demotion, suspension, stuff like that. This is an easy department to lose your position in. This is also an easy department to gain your department position as long as you know what you're doing. Specialized units, that's really, I recommend reading it. Really doesn't cover us. Like I said, you can add specialized units into the CAD by right here in unit groups. You can add TAC, suit. If they activate as TAC, activate them as TAC. Law enforcement dispatchers produce. Units must be advised of call signs and RTO when transmitting. There must be a 5-second rule in between each transmission. You can 1090 people for not giving 5-second transmission radios. And then section 4 reverts back all to the RTOs. Understand there's bomb threats. Unlikely, but when it happens, all units and civilians have to evacuate and clear as possible to roll in TAC. Bolo vehicles, you'll say when an officer wants a Bolo, they'll say 2 King 127 to dispatch. 2 King 127, go ahead. Can we have an active Bolo on this following vehicle description, this following location? Once you do that, you'll type it in the computer, which is right here under Bolos. So you'll do records, you'll go here, you'll go to new record, you'll look for Bolos, you'll add a Bolo. Say it was armed and mentally ill. You add it, you add the name of the person that they're looking for or the vehicle that they're adding it to, and then add a narrative and then add the record. It will activate the record as that. There's also a list of Bolos, so if you need to look at it, it's right here, Bolos and warrants for their arrest. So just remember that. Okay. From here, you will notify all of them. Once that has been completed of that, you will go here at this point in time and unavailable to be able to total. If LEO announces Bolo is verified information, broadcast the Bolo into the RTO. You have to broadcast it twice every 30 minutes or once every 30 minutes. So all units be advised there is an active Bolo out for this vehicle description unless it's been called off and you know about it. Then call it off. But 9 out of 10 times Bolos don't get called off. Be careful with that. One thing, the last thing we have to talk about is dispatching going 10-7. So this is how you do it. You ready? All you'll say is 10-3, 10-3, 10-3. All hold radio traffic. All units be advised. Control 2 King 123 will now be going 10-7 as of you put the time. And you say have a good rest of your patrol. You can say a nice message. Keep it professional. Right? And that's pretty much it. The CAD is the same ways you use it in your policing. The only thing different is you can assign groups and assign officers to calls. You can also add open call editor. You can still do the same thing in a call editor, and then you can add it here. Basically, every officer, when you do a signal 100, which when you activate a signal 100, you'll say it in RTO, which I wanted to point that out. You say 10-3, 10-3, 2-3. All units be advised. Signal 100 is now in effect for the current 1080 priority. Then you'll add in here, you do 100, if it'll let me, 100, right? So signal 100 is not in effect. When you do that, you're going to hear a beep across the radio that says signal 100.
Signal 100 is now in effect.
And to deactivate the signal 100, you grab it and then you clear.
Signal 100 is no longer in effect.
There's also signal 11, which is your, I forgot what that one is, but signal 60 is your, so if signal 60 is called, this is because there's a drug bust that one of the departments is doing. You need to watch out for it and go from there. There's also your penal code, your 10 codes, and your rec codes. Please make sure you follow all of these and look at them as you go on. There isn't much left. The only thing is make sure you activate and deactivate from here. You'll put in your time you did, start, and finish every single time. Make sure you read your chats. I recommend reading all of these if you get the time. There's a lot of information that will help you be a great dispatcher. I provide a lot of information to help you be very informed. So please, please, please look at that. Other than that, this is your RTO. You're in charge of it. If you failure to maintain it, it could lose you your promotion. It could lose you your job. So you have to maintain every officer. It could be one officer, it could be 50 officers. You have to maintain it. Understand this is all even though this is a game, you still need to take this very serious because a lot of officers will take you serious. So please provide the best service you can. Anyways, that's all I have for you today, as in the communications division starting out basic training course here. I will go into a little bit of depth of every single document by providing another video that will go over every single document for you guys so that you can understand those types. If you have any questions, please speak to the assistant director, or excuse me, the dispatch manager, me, or talk to Mr. D. Venberg, who is now the current director. We want to appreciate your time, and we thank you for becoming one of the greatest troopers we have here today. Thank you for joining the California Highway Patrol.